Hi, friends. I'm Alini.
I'm Katie, and welcome to Tea with Friends. All right, so we'll start things off the way we always do with what you are drinking today.
Yes. So I have two drinks in front of me today. I have my usual Peace of Mind tea, which we love.
Yes.
From Flying Bird Botanicals. Big fan. And then I have a glass of wine, a glass of really sweet white wine. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but it's very sweet.
It's very sweet.
Okay, so yours is the typical?
The typical, the usual.
I am having pomegranate pizzazz.
Ooh, pomegranate pizzazz. I like that.
It also smells very sweet.
Does it? Is it sweet, though?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, it's too hot.
Yeah.
Also, for those of you joining us on YouTube today, I'm repping Dear Evan Hansen, one of my favorite Broadway musicals.
Well, speaking of Broadway, I think since we took a week off
due
to Holy Week and Easter, which
there's a lot of stuff we got to catch people up on.
Yes. The first thing and the biggest thing I would say is that we booked our Airbnb and our flights to New York.
Which is great because last time we talked about, if you could be anywhere, 3, 2, 1, say it out loud, and I said New York. And I was like, I feel bad because we were like already planning that trip. But okay, so for those of you that don't know, what I wanted to do originally was for my 30th birthday, which is this August, is have all of my friends, literally I invited like 60 people, just meet us in New York.
Very ambitious.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of just an open invitation. If you want to come to New York, you plan your own way. But I was like, my plan was to spend like 2 weeks in New York celebrating my 30th birthday. I've never been to New York, always wanted to go, wanted to see every Broadway show I could possibly see. And I love celebrating with people, so I just wanted to invite everybody. And so that was the original plan, but then it looked like, Broadway wasn't going to be open, so we were thinking about postponing. And then Katie and I were like, let's just go. New York has so much more to offer than just the typical Broadway experience, which we still will be able to experience to some extent. Some shows will be open, have capacity will be different. There's also a really big election happening in June that might change the trajectory of like when things are opening. Because
what do you mean? What big election?
So there's the local elections and different district members, like Congress members, and I think there's someone running for mayor who has an entire like plan on how to reopen theaters and like the urgency of opening theater and arts again in New York City.
So much of their revenue,
it's their revenue,
and economy.
Oh, 100%. Like so many things had to close, not just theater.
Right.
Because there weren't people visiting. And so things might look different when we go in July. And I'm really excited. And
we decided to go for 2 weeks, which will be
there for 2 weeks.
Very fun.
Yeah. And we decided on an Airbnb so we can just experience the city. Especially for me, who I've dreamed of potentially moving there one day. It'll be nice to kind of experience what it's like. I mean, I won't be working there or anything, but, we'll be taking the subway, we'll be going to different places and walking around just wherever.
And we might also be getting tattoos while we're there. We probably will be.
I will be, and I think you will be, too.
I will be, too. Yeah. So that'll be very fun.
Stay tuned for more on that.
Yes. Also, we had Holy Week and Easter.
We did.
And we actually got to spend Easter together.
That was really nice. Yeah, Holy Week was rough for me. I'm not going to lie. I went into a bit of a dark place on Tuesday and Wednesday, feeling very just low and down and
disconnected.
Super disconnected. Yeah. And, especially I think Holy Week is it's the pinnacle of our faith, right? And I think last year, not getting to spend it with people, I think it was so fresh that I was like, it's okay, we'll be back together soon. But after a whole year of not being around people, not being in community, not being at church, it really hit me how much I missed it. And how much how disconnected with my faith I've been.
Yeah. Because you also went from working at a place where you were like backed up to the Eucharist and could go into the church at any time.
I had my keys. Literally, I could walk into the chapel at any point.
And now you don't have
I have
much
no access.
Yeah.
I have no access to like the physical presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. And that was tough. But in good news, I have wonderful friends who are so encouraging and loving and prayed for me. And I was able to kind of center myself. And I've started this new routine that I don't think I've even told you about this. I start every day with my devotional, Jesus Calling.
Yes.
Which I started doing at the beginning of January, but then stopped.
Yeah.
But I restarted it, and I've stuck with it at least so far. I mean, it's been almost a week, but but stay tuned. We'll keep me accountable.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah, and then I end the day with the rosary.
That's awesome.
So I dim the lights. I create like not an altar space, but like a reflection area where I have a statue of Our Lady of Fatima that I got in Portugal, in Fatima.
Ooh.
I have my holy water from Lourdes that Cassie Tran brought me. Cassie, shout out to Cassie. And then I have my rosary, and I sit on the floor. I pray my rosary. And then I've decided that from that point on, I don't look at my phone anymore.
That's good.
And I just get in bed, and if I want to read, I can read. I'm not going to watch TV, but I can read something nonfiction usually. And I just relax and sleep.
That's a really good routine.
It's been really good for my soul.
Yeah.
And Jesus Calling, if you guys have never used this daily devotional, it's so good. It's been saying everything I've needed to hear.
It's so good, and it's also like easy for anyone to pick up. It's really easy to understand and tangible. And
right. Well, and what I love about it, it's written in a way where it's as if God is speaking to you directly. So they take 2 different Bible passages, and they create like a message from God to you. Like, this is what God is saying to you through these Bible passages. And it's in everyday English. It's very much like today was, I am your potter. Like, let me take care of you and let me guide you. And when you find resistance, seek my face so that you know if it's me or the other one. And it's like, why is this resistance here? Is it something you need to overcome, or something you need to be like, no, God is putting this boundary up so that I go this direction? And I was like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that.
Yes, that's good.
So it's really helped me. And now I've started my mornings by saying, like, my name is Eleni Santos. I have an amazing mother. I have an amazing father. I am blessed with my brother. I am grateful for these friends. And I just list all the things that are great about my life. So I'm not constantly thinking about the things I wish were different. Like, because yesterday's daily devotional was focus on all of the things that are beautiful. There's so much beauty around you. And I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to bring those to the surface and not take those for granted. So anyway, so that was my Holy Week.
I like that.
Okay, now let's talk about Easter, because Easter was and I got to go to the Easter Vigil for the first time.
Yes.
I feel like
How did you like that?
I loved it. So I went back to St. Simon.
Yes.
My first time being back, and I was, admittedly like a little nervous about it.
Which is fair.
But once I was there, it just felt like coming home in a nice way.
Good.
Not in the same way that like St. Joseph's does, because, obvs. But it felt like comfortable. And it was interesting because for those of you that are also on the YouTube video, you can see that I've now center parted my hair. I decided to try something new. And when I tried it, everybody was like, you should only wear your hair in a center part.
Yes.
I was like, okay, we'll give it a try. So we're rocking the center part. So I didn't have my glasses on. I had a center part and I had a mask. So nobody recognized me.
Where is this going?
She's like, why are you talking about your center part?
Church. You're like, and I have a center part now. And I'm like, okay, great.
Well, the reason for that is that like nobody recognized me. I would wave to people and they'd just be like awkwardly like, or they'd look behind them to see who I was waving at. I was like, no, I'm waving at you. 2 of my teens didn't recognize me. One of my volunteers that I used to work with didn't like recognize me. His kids were like, Dad, who's that waving at you? And I was like, it's me, it's Eleni.
That's so weird.
But it was just really funny because it took people a second to recognize me. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, you look so great. And I'd be like, oh, thanks. But yeah, that was fun.
And were there any baptisms?
There were 2 baptisms. It was beautiful. And they didn't go into the baptismal font.
Right.
They had to lean over it, and then they just Father just poured the water. The water just rushed into these people's masks, so we had to get them new masks. Otherwise, they would be drowning in their own masks. Ugh. I mean, everything was beautiful. The beginning readings and song that were done in the dark, it just felt it was so beautiful. And being my first Easter Vigil, my first time back in a church celebrating Mass since September was just, it was beautiful.
That's a good one to come back in.
I was in community again.
Yes.
I wasn't like a random person at a church.
Right. So I went to Holy Spirit.
For their Easter Vigil?
For the Easter Vigil.
Oh, how was it?
And my first Easter Vigil experience was last year during COVID. And it was just me and Father Bijou and Father Rick. I did all of the readings. Oh. And there was no music, right? Because it was COVID, like the very beginning of COVID.
No music.
So I did not know what to expect besides a lot of reading. Mm-hmm. John Kellett.
Oh my gosh.
John Kellett.
John Kellett.
Knocks it out of the park.
Every time.
The first, I think it was 2 or 3 readings were sung like a musical. I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Did
and it
John
was in
do
the dark?
all of the singing?
No, he had a choir.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my gosh. They around to like chat or anything, and I left right after, but oh my gosh, it was so good. And they had a ton of people getting baptized. A ton is in like 7 or 8.
Sure.
And
that's a good number. We only had 2.
yeah. And they did the same thing, pouring over the head, and they got them new masks and this and that. But
yeah.
I mean, I loved it. And then
Beautiful.
Easter morning, I went to Sacred Heart for their morning.
With Father Gary?
Yeah, but Father Gary wasn't saying Mass. But yeah, so then after Mass, we went to my parents' house for Easter.
Yeah, so I
Alini.
worked. So Sunday morning, I didn't get to go to Mass because I was I run the worship stream and Zooms for the church I work at, and so which was actually really nice. I got to see a lot of people because this time we let everybody come on the Zoom, so the whole community was there.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got to meet a lot of new people and see how excited they were to see each other because it's a very small congregation. I think on a regular basis, there's about 130 people that are constantly involved, and they all know each other, and it's beautiful and wonderful. But yeah, and then we went to brunch, and brunch was so much fun. I brought lemon bars.
I did a
mimosa bar,
mimosa
which
bar.
was bomb.
My mom set up a beautiful table.
Oh my gosh, it was
and,
gorgeous.
I mean, everything was so pretty. And then
It felt like Easter.
it did feel like Easter.
It's been the first holiday where I felt like this is it. Like,
Yeah.
this feels like 100% what it should
Yes.
feel like.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. My brother was home.
Yes.
So we hung out
And your boyfriend's family was there,
Yes.
and they're lovely, and I'm very envious of that I've never had a boyfriend whose family just clicked with my family. I mean, I think my most recent relationship, his parents met my parents, but then we broke up a month after, so there wasn't really an opportunity for them to really get to know each other.
Yeah.
But I've never had a significant other where like our families were over, and I think it's so beautiful that you guys have.
Well, and you also have to think that Chris and I started dating when we were 16.
I mean, that's true. So,
and so
you
it's
all grew up
been
together.
It's been almost 10 years.
Right.
And so
That's true.
and that
does
was
make a
back
difference.
when like my parents were driving me over there, and like his parents were
Right.
driving him, and
Right.
like we all
dances, everybody would get together for pictures.
Exactly. All the
That's fair.
proms,
You had
yeah.
that extra, that easy, like
but
there
even
are
still,
children.
But even still, I think we
They
are
do get
very
along
lucky
really
that
well.
everyone gets along. And my grandpa was there, and my uncle,
Grandpa.
and we had Millie was there, and
Oh yes, my dog Ty was there too,
and Noki.
Noki.
Chris's brother Justin has a
puppy.
puppy. I feel like wiener dog is the wrong thing to
So
call
wiener
it.
dog is like their street name, I guess you could call it. But they're called
Yeah, okay, cool. So the street name is wiener dog, but it's really a dash hound or whatever.
Yeah.
So
That was fun.
Noki was there, and Noki's so cute because he's way tinier. Oh my gosh,
I know.
because she's way tinier than Ty, and
But
so
she did not like.
she doesn't back down.
Not at all. She was going at
She
it.
likes
Ty
to
started
play.
running away from her, and I was like, "No, this is what you got to take." Ty is such. He's very not the alpha dog.
No, he's
No.
submissive.
He's very submissive. He'll just roll over. I mean, especially with. I thought it was because of Millie's size, but then you get no.
But then you see Noki,
and it's like no,
who's
it's
literally
just Ty.
2 pounds.
He's not like that with Luke though, and maybe that's because he's the younger brother,
Probably.
so it's a different vibe. But
Yeah.
so I don't. My grandfathers are no longer alive.
Yeah.
They have joined Jesus in the communion of saints, and but so I told him I was like, I'm just gonna call you Grandpa now, okay? So you're my grandpa.
Your
And he was-
grandpa.
and he was just like, okay. It was the funniest thing.
He
Like,
is.
Katie was like, "Are you okay with that, Grandpa?" He was like, "Okay."
He's like, I don't even care. My grandpa's in his 80s, and he is like 6'3",
He's very tall.
and just he used to play for the San Francisco Giants. He's just kind of does his own thing.
I
Just
didn't know he played professional baseball.
Mm-hmm.
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Look at you, fancy. Do you guys have like special?
He has special stuff,
I'm sure.
but we like the one thing we did that like he was super stoked about was like I think when I was in high school, we got like an underground tour of the
Oh,
wherever, and he was like,
AT&T.
"Oh yeah, that guy and this guy and whatever."
oh,
So-
cool. Is it still called AT&T Park? It's not.
I have no clue, and I don't care because I don't like baseball. Anyway, so that was Easter. That was great. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And then Monday rolls around, and I
Yeah, Monday.
decided that I wanted to not be here. anymore. Not be in this town. Sorry,
Okay,
that was going to get really dark.
Wait,
no, I decided
I didn't realize you were
I
that
didn't
low.
want to be at home.
Got it.
And so I was like, Millie and I are going to go somewhere. So I was looking up like dog hotels or whatever. So I was looking at San Francisco or in Carmel. And I decided on Carmel.
How did I not know about this? You went to Carmel and I just didn't know.
Yeah, I was waiting to tell you.
Oh, cool. Tell me all about it. How did it go? What'd you do?
So I decided to go to Carmel because Monday I had dance team, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just left right after dance team. Chris and Aaron joined us.
Well, I saw that you were at a beach with
the
Millie
dogs.
And Aaron.
Yeah.
And so I figured you went somewhere, but I didn't realize you went to Carmel. That's awesome.
Yes, I went to Carmel for 2 nights, and it was glorious.
That's awesome.
Aaron is not super comfortable around other dogs. Like Millie, we can take her anywhere,
right? And
she'll fall asleep and be fine and whatever.
Totally.
We've also spent more money than I want to admit
on
getting
training.
her trained.
Sure.
So here's the thing about the hotel. You could not leave the dogs in the hotel room.
So
at the hotel in San Francisco, Cavallo Point, you can leave the dogs in the hotel room. So you could like leave them there and go to dinner. So we would like leave Aaron in the crate and take Millie to dinner. But this one you couldn't. So we're like, shoot. And so we decided to go like sit out at like the restaurant's like bar and have like a drink and a snack. Mm-hmm. And Millie and Aaron obviously were with us. And Aaron was just going at these little dogs. Every little dog, she's barking. Oh, I was like anxious, sweating. Yeah. I hated it. And like at one point, Chris had to get up and walk away with Aaron. Mm-hmm. So I became a genius and I took the e-collar off Millie, put it on Aaron. And I'm like, okay, either this can go because the e-collar like vibrates on mm-hmm. their necks. So either she can get super skittish and it'll make it way worse or it'll make it better.
And
it made it better. Every time a dog would walk by and she started to get, I would say no, and I would like vibrate her, and eventually she like locked on me and calmed down.
Because she knew that you were comfortable so she could be comfortable.
Yes, so we were talking about it, and I was like, the reason that they need to be trained is so that they know that we're in control and we've got this. So they don't have to be on alert.
Right, they don't have to protect you. Because you know... You'll tell them if they need to.
Exactly. So I was so proud of her. I would give her a French fry every time. She did a good job. And poor Millie's just laying there like this. And I was like, Millie, I love you, but this is a big deal for Aaron.
It is.
And so then we walked to dinner, and I was like, okay, here we go. And we were outside, and they were laying under a table, and Aaron fell asleep. And I was like, this is amazing.
That makes me so happy because I know how stressed out you get with Aaron, and I know how frustrated you get.
Yeah.
So the fact that
we bonded,
you did. It sounds like it.
Yes,
it
we
sounds
really
like she has
did.
a new space in your heart.
She does, and because to me, I get stressed out when dogs aren't behaved.
Totally.
And I think I'll be the same.
Especially
way
big dogs. Like if Ty's not behaved, you just pick him up and put him in the corner.
His misbehaved is not as noticeable as like Millie jumping and like barking and like whatever.
If Ty jumps on you, it's like unless you're.
I don't want to say it's like expected of little dogs, but like it's people it's more permissive with little dogs.
And that's what makes it so hard to train. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's so hard to train a little dog not to jump up because when they do, other people are like, no, and you start trying to scold them. A lot of people are like, oh, no, it's fine. And they still give them attention. Right. Where it's like with a big dog, if you tell them, like, please ignore my dog until she's calmed down, they'll listen to you. Right. Where it's like when it's a little dog, they're like, it's fine. It's adorable. Exactly. So it's like, well, there goes the training out the window.
Right.
So is Chris going to get Aaron in a collar?
He did. He ordered her a collar.
Good. What color?
Purple.
I was going to say it can't be pink.
No, she can't be pink. It's purple.
I was going to suggest purple, but.
Yes. And then we came home this morning, woke up early.
So you were gone this whole time. Yeah. I had no idea my best friend was out of town. What is this? Excuse me?
So that was Carmel. It was fun. It was stressful until we got the whole e-collar thing figured out. They also played on the beach a lot, which they
like
loved.
that. Yeah, they really like the beach.
Yeah. So because I was in Carmel,
yes,
walking up and down the streets, there is about 800 women's clothing stores, like boutiques.
Yes.
Another 800 art stores, and then like one dog store. And I do not know how any of these places stay in business. I don't know how all of these women's boutiques stay in business. I don't know how all of these art galleries stay in business. However, I enjoy looking at how much these art pieces cost.
How much?
Well, so how much money, let's say you're so rich, like you're stupid rich.
Okay.
How much money would you rationalize spending on a painting?
Okay, well, see, that depends. Am I buying something just to decorate my house because it looks nice?
Yes.
Or am I buying something because I want to support the art? Okay, just something to decorate my house.
Yeah.
At most,
Yeah.
like $700.
Okay, cool.
If I'm stupid rich.
$700.
I think just to decorate my house, it doesn't, I mean.
Okay, now what if you have an emotional connection? How much would you pay?
See, if there was an emotional connection, like if it was Degas, like ballerinas, like I would spend a couple thousand on a Degas
What's
ballerina.
a couple thousand?
I don't know, like 3,000.
Okay. I thought it would be fun if I would show you pieces of art.
And I guess how much it costs.
And you would guess the price.
I love that.
Because all the art that's on this wall right here is probably combined less than $100. No, that's a lie. Probably less than $200. See, that's the thing. I don't know how FrameBridge works. If I were like, I should.
I would frame all of them except for the mysteries.
Yeah. Anyways.
Show me. Let's see this.
Okay. You can't look until I'm ready to show you.
Okay.
If you're watching on YouTube,
we'll just put a little
put it up. So you guys check it out on YouTube. We're going to give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
This is by Ricono. This is the artwork. And I want you to guess how much that costs. You guys comment down below.
Okay, so I don't know anything about art. I don't know if Ricono is well known. But I would pay $350 for this.
$350.
$350.
This is $20,000.
Yeah, I first of all, not my kind of art. Wouldn't put that in my house unless it was like a children's room.
Okay, so now I'm going to find you something a little different. Maybe something else that you might.
Yeah, find something that you think that I would really vibe with.
You know, some of these artists have very confusing names. Cool. Okay, so this is called Stolen Kisses from Lovers.
Okay, so yeah, I would...
A tribute to J. Pollock by Juan Jose.
I love Pollock.
Garay. It's acrylic on canvas.
Okay.
It is 78 inches by 78 inches.
Do you know who Jackson Pollock is?
I've heard of him before.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great. So here's number 2.
Okay. I like the name of it, but...
It's a little more abstract.
A little? It's just someone threw paint on a canvas.
So how much do you think that is going for? Not how much you would pay for it, but how much do you think?
Okay, well, if the other one went for $20,000, this thing's going for like $15,000.
This is $25,000.
Okay, so I went lower. I should have gone higher. I see. Right. The more abstract, the higher. The more it's a first grade art project.
Yeah. So now let's look at sculptures. So I'm going to show you this, and you're going to tell me how much this cost. This is considered a sculpture, and I don't know why.
Is it made with pennies?
Maybe.
It looks like it's made with pennies, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It kind of looks like it's... Well, because it's Kobe Bryant, and because...
And it barely looks like him.
Really? I kind of see it. I think the Lakers yellow is the wrong yellow.
Yeah.
That's not correct. It needs to be a little bit more golden than that. I'm going to go with $40,000.
Oh, God. No, it's like 16.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I need to... I don't know when to go higher or when to go lower.
Now, the last one we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a bronze sculpture. So this one is called Don Quixote.
Ooh.
It's made in 2001 by Marie Therese. Not going to attempt her last name. This is a 9-foot bronze sculpture.
So this is an outdoor sculpture. Got it.
It's a 9-foot bronze sculpture.
So...
And it looks like it's very skinny. This man has a very long sword. So how much are we thinking?
$22,000.
$112,000.
For a skinny man with a sword?
So that's my fascination with Carmel and the art stores. Is that
interesting?
Sometimes...
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. If you sell one piece, you make $20,000. But how do they get the art? Do they have to pay for it in order to have it?
Or do artists rent out space in a gallery?
Right, that's another thing.
These are the things I don't know. Also, while in Carmel...
Yes, tell me more.
Carmel is very much filled with old people. I would say old... I mean, it's not that old.
Like 60s retired age kind of thing?
I would say like over 65. like retired, like, but like closer to 70s.
Got it.
So my question to you is, when you are old, how will you know that you made it? Like that you reached your potential? How will you define success at that point?
I don't know. You're making me think scary thoughts. I'm like, what if I never meet my potential?
Please, no.
Okay, I think that I will look back, and if I have good people in my life, whether it be my family, my children, my friends, and I'm still involved in some type of community, as long as I'm not alone, I think I'll have made it. My biggest fear is getting to be old and alone. I think that's terrifying to me. I want to be in community always. I never want to be isolated. As far as like career-wise, I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm doing right now, so.
Okay, cool.
What about you?
I don't know.
I think yours will have to do a lot with like seeing the students you taught.
Or at least like making sure
The
my
adults,
kids are normal.
and that's what I was going to say. And like your kids are
successful.
well-adjusted.
Yeah. Well-adjusted. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, no kid is going to be perfect, right? Nobody has a trauma-free life.
Right.
But you
can hope.
Can you? I don't think it's possible. I mean, you want them to have as least amount of trauma as possible.
Correct.
On a spectrum, totally. But the response, the thing that's more telling is their ability to cope and move forward. And I think that's why I say well adjusted. And I think that you will feel successful if you know that when you are no longer here, your kids will be just fine.
Yes. Sharp left. Welcome to Who's Most Likely To between Lainey and Katie. So I got this, not the questions, but I got the idea from TikTok. And normally on TikTok, they like point or whatever.
Right.
But we know if you still haven't checked out our YouTube channel, you got to do it. It's Tea with Friends.
Okay,
so
cool.
What if I just say like most likely to become rich and we just say it?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so.
Is that the first question?
Yeah. Who's most likely to become rich? 3, 2, 1. Alini.
I don't know how, but for whatever reason.
I just thought you too. I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Watch me be dirt poor and you're like paying my rent.
You're living on my couch.
It's like, when's Auntie Alini leaving? She's
Never.
not, honey.
Never.
She's just going to stay here.
Get used to her.
It's going to be great.
She's fine. Who's most likely to get lost in their wilderness? 3, 2, 1. Alini. Duh. Okay, that was 100%.
Obvious. First of all, how did I get to the wilderness? Why am I in the wilderness?
It's like that Office episode when... Is that The Office when Michael goes out into the wilderness and he films himself like he's like Bear Grylls, and I forget what he's trying to prove to Dwight, but Dwight like
I don't know. All I can think of right now is the episode where he drives into the lake.
Where are they on the way to? He's with Dwight, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not one to wander off in wilderness.
Okay.
Into the wild is not my story.
Who's most likely Who is most likely to get lost in their own neighborhood? 3, 2, 1.
Katie.
Me. I have like a concerning lack of direction.
Yeah. You're worse than my mom.
I have directions everywhere.
That's not true.
We've been going to Lake Almanor my entire life. And for at least a week a year now, my parents have a house there. I've been there a bajillion times. I get lost every time I go there.
Right.
No, but like the thing is, like I could get in the car, put in an address, start driving.
And still get lost?
And like realize I'm going to like the wrong place. Like I don't even know which direction is right if I have directions.
Interesting. Yep.
Great. Glad we just exposed that. Cool. Next. Who is most likely to get married in Vegas? 3, 2, 1. Alini. Okay.
Not that I would, but just between the two of us, yeah, I'm definitely more likely.
Who is most likely to marry a celebrity? Alini.
Yeah, me.
Chris Evans, where are you? She's still waiting. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
She's in line.
Okay, but I feel like one of these episodes, not today, I need to talk about like why I love Chris Evans, because it's not just what people think.
It's deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, stay tuned for a deep explanation about why Alini loves Chris Evans. And spoiler alert, it's not just for his looks.
Yeah, we'll do an entire celebrity crush episode.
Can't wait. Who is most likely to write a best-selling book? 3, 2, 1. Alini.
I'm already writing books.
You're already writing things.
I'm writing a 3-book series right now. Stay tuned.
Stay
It's
tuned.
romance, but
We'll release
but
it.
not like Bridgerton romance. It's a little bit more like rom-com-y.
Not familiar with Bridgerton. Who is most likely to win a televised talent show? Alini.
Is it me? Probably, because I'd actually sign up for it.
Exactly. I wouldn't even
You
get
wouldn't
there.
even get there. Like, if we were on there together, you might win, but you wouldn't even get there.
What would I do that would make me win?
Dance.
Okay, maybe like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but like, what am I going to do?
Sing?
I don't sing that well.
Better than me.
That's true. Yeah.
Wait, I don't think we told you guys this story. So when Alini and I were like newly
beginning of our
friends,
friendship, yeah.
we had gone to this like youth ministry day thing, whatever, and we were having mass with
At Holy
Bishop
Spirit.
Cantu. No, it was not a Holy Spirit.
Oh,
We have a picture in the parking lot.
that's one?
Yeah. I don't know where
Are we
we
thinking
were.
of different stories?
We were at a place.
We were at Mass.
We were at Mass after our like youth ministry meeting, and I'm just singing my
She's singing her heart
songs.
out.
I love to sing at church. I feel it. And Alini goes, she does something like, "Are you being serious?"
No, I didn't even say anything. I just looked at you, and I just kept looking at you like, I can't.
Like, are you okay?
I was just trying to figure out
If that was
you
really
were-
coming out of my mouth.
Well, if you were aware of what you sounded like.
I am proud.
Well, and I love that because that's what we always tell people. Like, when you are singing worship, when you are worshiping, it's not about what you sound like. It's about where
Unless
your
you're
heart
sitting
is.
next to Alini. No! If you're sitting next to Alini during worship, and if you sound like a cat in a garbage disposal, there will be judgment.
I wasn't judging you. I had just never. I was actually in awe of you because I have never heard someone sound so bad but so proud.
I was actually inspired by how bad you were. It's like, okay. And you know what, Alini? I sang a solo at my 8th grade graduation, so don't talk to me anymore.
Who's your music teacher?
In the not in the arms of the angel. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings. Harmonize.
Bear
you on the breath of dawn. Sorry, scene.
To be fair, just to be clear, I was not judging you. I was
Okay.
just actually like most people when they're most people are self-conscious about not singing well, but you just didn't
Not
care.
me.
And I love that about you, and it's one of my favorite things about you. I just won't ever put a microphone in front of you for choir. You can be in the back.
Who is most likely to die first in a horror movie? 3, 2, 1. Me. See, I think me because you watch more movies than me. And I feel like if you were in a movie setting, you would know what to do more than I would, even though you don't watch horror movies.
I don't really like horror movies. That is true. But that's probably why I would die, because I would assume this is a movie, and I would do stuff as if it was a movie.
But
Like,
it is a movie.
Oh, wait, what was the question?
Who would die first in a horror movie?
The people that end up at the end are the hot guy and the pretty blonde girl, and then like they bonded over their trauma. And
Very
they fall in
Doris
love.
Day. Yeah.
Blonde Doris Day.
We stayed at the Doris Day Hotel in Carmel.
No
That's
way.
Why.
That's so
all
funny.
her movies were like trailing through, like when we were sitting
Wait, was
there.
it you that didn't know who Doris Day was, or was it Gabby?
It was me and Gabby and
now you
Chris
know who
and
she is.
everyone, and now I definitely know
Because
who
you
she
stayed at her.
is.
Did you tell your mom you stayed at her hotel? Did you tell Geraldine?
My mom was the one who recommended the hotel.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So we were playing this game at Katie's house for Easter,
Yeah.
where everybody put different celebrities or well-known people in a bowl, and then you had to describe them. And 2 times, like, Geraldine got Doris Day, and all she said was blonde. And Jill knew. Geraldine is Chris's mom, and Jill is Katie's mom. Katie's mom just knew Doris Day. Like, all she said was blonde, and apparently Doris Day is the only blonde woman out there.
I guess so. Who is most likely to have their own reality TV show? Alini.
Yeah, me.
Hey,
100% me.
Great. Who is most likely to cut their own bangs? Alini.
Is it me? I was going to say, I think it's me.
Yeah, it's you. I could imagine you like getting like in this space of like, I just got to do it. I need to change.
I don't know if I would ever get bangs, but I would definitely. I could see myself being so distraught that I'm like, I'm chopping my hair off. I'm going with a Blake. Never, like, not a buzz. Never. I'm not. I'm not
Britney.
No, not Britney.
Hashtag save Britney.
Yeah, it's free Britney. Oh God, you always say save her. It's free.
Free
her.
Britney.
I mean, I guess you are saving her if you free her, but still. And you're right. It would definitely be me.
Yeah.
You're
I'm too reserved for that.
too reserved to touch your hair. You would do something else.
So Alini would cut her own bangs.
Yes, that's where we left off. Cool.
Who is more likely to skydive?
3, 2, 1.
Me. Okay.
Oh, let's go skydiving together.
Yeah, I want to go skydiving.
Let's go skydiving.
Has the best poker face? 3, 2, 1. Me.
Really? No, you're right. You do. You do have a better poker face because you.
Where were we?
We were at an event somewhere. We won't say where.
Perfect. We were at an event.
We were at an event somewhere, and it was an open mic situation. And someone decided to attempt, and I'm going to use that word loosely, comedy. And I was in the front row.
And we, first of all, as soon as this whole thing started, I got up.
You got up and left.
Because I had to stand in the back.
I apparently just was staring like, WTF.
Alini, I look to the front row, and she's like, and I was like, you text her. I was like, you fix your face right now.
You're right.
Because this person was, I think, wasting time. Well, and I thought this person was just like rambling.
Well, I thought they were rambling. I thought they were trying to just
ramble.
They were waiting for the next act, and he was just going to introduce them. But no. He was actually attempting stand-up comedy.
He was doing his open mic performance.
And I needs to practice his tone. He needs to practice his timing. And when you're doing stand-up, it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it. Because you can make anything funny with the right pauses.
Correct.
And the right tone and the right inflection or interpretation. I was going to say, I think I have a good poker face when...
You know what to expect, I think.
No, I think when it's something where... I'm very cautious of the fact that if I don't have a good poker face, this could really be detrimental.
Who is most likely to become a nun? I don't think either of us, but I would have to say
Me.
you.
Only because you have a boyfriend that is going to become your husband.
But I think even
I'm
if
single.
I didn't.
I don't see myself being a nun. But you're right. I think even if you weren't in a serious relationship, it would still most likely be me.
Who is most likely to disappear for a year?
Me.
Oh, I thought me.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think that you could.
I don't think I could either.
You could be alone for that long.
See, for me, when I think about disappear, it's like I would go somewhere else and like start a brand new life and just disappear. But you're right. I don't think I could. I'd have too much curiosity.
You'd leave behind too much, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to stay connected, which is so telling because I am still in contact with almost every single person I've ever met, unless they like broke my heart.
That's true.
Like not just romantically, like
no,
in
anything,
like friendship wise, that they broke my heart. Then bye.
Who is more likely to fight with a boyfriend in public? 3, 2, 1.
Me.
You.
Yeah, Katie will save that till she gets home.
Absolutely.
If I need to, I have no problem doing it in public. Not in like a really terrible way. Yeah, no, I think that I wouldn't be afraid to be like, you're being a or you need to.
Even like in front of people. If like we were at a dinner and your significant other was just I don't even know what they could be doing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
in front of everyone.
Times where someone was taking things too far and I've been like, you need to knock it off. And then they got upset with me and I was like,
because they're embarrassed.
Right, because they're embarrassed because now all of a sudden I'm putting them on the spot. And I was
right.
like, well, you need to stop. This is not okay. Yeah, so me. I'm more likely to fight in public.
Yeah. Who is most likely to go to a Justin Bieber concert? 3, 2, 1.
You.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I do like Justin Bieber's newer stuff.
I have not listened to him since I was little.
He
not
has
little,
a lot
but like
of
high school.
He has a lot of like more Christian-based stuff, which is really cool. Yeah, he was just past my time. When everybody was like falling in love with him, I was like, you're a child.
Oh, see, I was like in love with him.
You're the same age as him.
This is true. Speaking of Justin Bieber, though, have you had a chance to watch the Billie Eilish documentary on Apple TV Plus?
I have not. Is it good?
It is. So it's 2 hours, a little more, so you really got to carve out some time. But I heard about it on the Beach Bible podcast. She was talking about it, Jackie Schimmel, and I was like, okay, I have to watch it. 2 hours. She's obsessed with Justin Bieber. She meets him. She cries. It's a whole thing. You need to watch the Billie Eilish documentary.
I will watch it.
Who is most likely to tell a secret, to spill a secret?
Me. It's me. I'm a really good secret keeper, but the thing is, I don't tell secrets. I tell maybe things that I should be a little bit more prudent about. And it's always in the effort of...
It's in the best interest.
Right. Like
it's not malicious.
It's never malicious. It's never, oh, let me tell you the tea. It's never like that. There's just one example that we can share where I knew someone was interested in somebody else. Like one of my girlfriends was interested in this guy that we had met, and I was close with his good friend, and not knowing any kind of past history, nothing. I was just like, hey, like, what would you think about these, like my friend and your friend ever being a thing? Like, do you think that's a possibility? Mm-hmm. And then by saying that, I'm basically spilling the fact that I know my friend's interested because people aren't dumb and they understand why I'm asking. And that was not great. And I've apologized for that. The thing I'm most likely to spill is when I'm trying to play Cupid. For whatever reason, I love...
But you're good at it.
I'm very good at playing Cupid, but sometimes I get in my head about it and my ego gets the better of me and I'm not thinking about the consequences of like... Yes, in my heart, I think I'm going to help two people come closer together, but I'm not taking into consideration the fact that this person that I am trying to wing woman is not interested in me sharing this information. She would rather, or he would rather me keep it to myself and let things unfold naturally. I think the reason I think
that you are more of a catalyst.
I think
that's
so.
What you try to be. You try to be the catalyst.
I do. I try to be the catalyst. Other times people are like, I didn't love that, but you know what? It worked out in our favor.
Right. You really wanted to be a matchmaker.
Oh yeah, I have. I still do.
Didn't you email?
I applied.
Yeah, she applied.
Job. So on LinkedIn, or maybe it was Facebook, I saw this girl that I went to high school with offering matchmaking services, and I was like, wait. I don't want you to matchmake me, but how do I work for the company you work for? Because I would be an amazing matchmaker. And I applied for it. I sent in this amazing cover letter basically talking about my dating theory and my 3 lists theory. I know how to see two people that can be good in a relationship. It doesn't mean that they're like the end game relationship.
Like
I don't
perfect.
Right, but like at least bringing people into contact or into the same orbit so that can happen naturally. That's what I try to do.
Matchmaker, make me a match.
Okay. Find me a find, catch me a catch.
There it is, people. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
You heard it here first.
I might still start my own matchmaking business. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe that's how I'll become rich.
Perfect. I hope so. Who is most likely to end up in jail?
Me.
Why? Crime of passion.
No, yeah. Crime of passion, right? Like if someone hurt my child or someone I care about, then I would retaliate in a crime of passion. So I think something like that, like I could see myself getting arrested for that, but that's really about it.
I don't really know what I would get arrested for.
I don't know either. I think
the scariest thing happened to me.
I think if you're going to get arrested, it'd be for something stupid like breaking into a house because you thought it was your house.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
The time that I thought that I could be arrested is I went by myself to, what's the place where DYR is?
Oh, Zephyr.
And that's in Nevada. And so I went and had, like dinner at a place in Nevada and they asked to see my ID and she was like, this is expired. And I was like, what?
It had just been your birthday and your ID had just expired.
Yeah, she's like, this is expired. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do.
You can't get arrested for having an expired license.
Right, but then I call.
Call who?
Call the DMV because it wasn't letting me do it electronically. And I was like, what the heck? Like, there's no reason. And the guy calls, he's like, yeah, you have 2 speeding tickets. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like they could like not allow you to get a license after this or like have a like us like when like or have people like looking for you to pay this. And I was like, I had no clue that I had these.
Wait, you had 2 speeding tickets and you didn't know about them? No, how do you forget being pulled over for speeding?
No, like I remember getting pulled over once, but I thought I paid it, but I never did.
Unpaid speeding tickets.
Yeah, and I thought that when I was driving home,
that accumulates.
Yes, I know. So I thought that when I was driving home cross state lines, that I could have gotten pulled over and taken downtown.
So I've gotten 2 parking tickets before.
That doesn't count because if we're talking parking tickets, you don't even want to talk to me.
I had a parking okay, but let me just tell you the story about this parking ticket. I was seeing this guy who worked at San Jose State. He was a residential advisor. He was the people that oversees RAs. Like he's like a staff person. He's not a college student.
How old is he?
At the time, he was 26 or 7, and I was 25.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit younger.
Okay.
But, so he was working at San Jose State. I was attending San Jose State. I was not familiar with parking in downtown, didn't read all of the signs, but I went to go meet up with him we were making homemade pasta in his apartment on campus. And he told me to park on this street. So I parked there. And then as I'm leaving, he's walking me to my car, and there's a parking ticket on it.
Did he pay for it?
He did not. That should have been the first sign. This was like our second and third date, and it should have been the first sign that this wasn't going to work out. Yeah, he didn't pay for it. He didn't even offer to pay for it. Because if he'd offered, I still would have said no. Like, it's
but
not...
you always gotta offer. Okay, last question.
Oh, okay.
Who is more likely to get away with murder? Aline.
Yeah, me. But only with your help.
Yes.
I would have to have your help because you watch all the crime, or you listen to all the crime stuff.
I do.
The only reason I would get away with it over you is that you would break in an interrogation.
Absolutely. Oh, completely.
Where it's like when I commit to a character, I commit.
Maybe even if like you did like kill someone, I would call the police and be like, hey, this person killed someone, use me as your ploy. And I would like go to you and I could
You would rat me out?
Well, there was some money in it for me. Maybe I could use it to go to New York.
Hold on. I'm questioning our entire friendship. You're supposed to be my person.
It's been an hour and a half.
Cool.
Last thing. Oh, I don't have my phone. My phone is doing...
Do you need my phone?
No, I was just going to see if we could share our favorite emoji. Like our most used emoji. I like the girl that's like has both of her hands up. Like, what? Or like that face that has one big eye, one small eye, and like a squiggly mouth and a tongue out. It's
okay,
like,
so my most used...
Yes.
Can you guess it?
No.
Is the pink heart with like the
with like
the shiny
yeah,
glow.
I'm not into that.
And the second most is like the smiley face with the hearts around it. I think my favorite emoji is like the face palm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I use that one a lot because I have a lot of those moments.
SMH my head. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for...
This is really fun, Katie.
Gosh, we had a lot. Who's most likely to...
And guessing art pieces, catching up on our lives.
Everything. So, again, friends, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at t.w.friends and follow us on YouTube. It's just Tea with Friends. We also have an email. If you ever want to reach out, send us a quick email. Check out our link tree. You know, listen to us wherever you find podcasts. New episodes every Friday at 3. We're sticking to that, going with it. And we will see you next week.
Time. Thanks, friends.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.